तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहा दावाग्निर्वापणं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणम् विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनम् सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्। यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रणोति तस्मै तद्ब्रह्म देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। The divine souls, this week we're learning about the essence of the Gita, how to practically apply the philosophy of the Gita in our life through understanding 4 types of actions. So I introduced this topic yesterday by telling you that the 4 types of actions are karma, vikarma, karma yoga, and karma sannyas. We focused on karma and vikarma yesterday. Karma means following all the do's and don'ts of the vidhi nishedh of Vedas, exactly regulating one's behavior according to these admonitions of the Ved. Vikarma is transgressing that, not following the do's and don'ts of Vedas. Just like Satyam Vada Dharmanchara, Ved says, tell the truth. So, if we tell the truth, this is just one vidhi of Ved. There are hundreds and thousands. If we tell the truth, that is karma. If we tell lies, that is vikarma. I explained that this path of karma, doing good karma, it's very extensive. It includes the observance of one's family duties, social duties, religious observances, nitya karma, naimittik karma, many different aspects to following these regulations of good karma according to Vedas. And if one does that, they will be rewarded by getting a good destiny in their next life. Or if they do a lot of good karma, they could gain entrance to Swarg, but that is also only temporary. So the ultimate thing that this karma can give you, the ultimate thing is Swarg. But Swarg is still within Maya. So even according to Vedas, I explained to you that it is considered foolish to only do good karma in order to attain Swarg, because your stay in Swarg is temporary. The happiness you enjoy when you're over there is still material pleasure. It's not true divine happiness. And in the end, you come back here and start over again. So there's nothing gained by going to Swarg. But of course, still doing karma is better than vikarma, because if you do vikarma, you go to narak. That too is only temporary, but why would one want to go to narak and get the punishments over there? Furthermore, whatever actions we perform impact the quality of our mind, so we're more likely to keep doing those types of actions in the future. So it's better to develop the good quality of the mind by doing karma than to develop the bad quality of the mind by doing vikarma. Nonetheless, both karma and vikarma keep you within the realm of Maya. They keep you within the cycle of birth and death in the 8.4 million different species into which a soul can be born. So, in the Gita, Arjuna was not satisfied by Shri Krishna's argument that, Arjun, it's your duty to fight this war because you're Kshatriya. You have to fight against evil, you have to fight against adharma, and you have to uphold dharma. This is your duty. So if you let Duryodhana do whatever he wants, you're ignoring your duty, you'll go to Narak for that. And if you perform your duty, that is good karma, you'll be rewarded. You may even go to Swarg. Arjuna was not convinced. He said, or he was just thinking that Krishna has already explained that Swarg is temporary and it's only my pleasure. So this is not a good enough argument for me to decide to fight the war. I want something more. This karma and vikarma is the basic level understanding. You understand that if I do good karma, I'll be punished. If I do bad karma, if I do good karma, I'll be rewarded. If I do bad karma, I'll be punished. Fine, but there's more to our existence. Our ultimate goal is actually beyond just the rewards and punishments of our good and bad karma. Arjuna wanted to know about that. So then Shri Krishna introduced the philosophy of Karma Yoga. The most famous shlok related to Karma Yoga, which so many people know, is the first thing Shri Krishna says in this regard. Remember, he said, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Arjun, these do's and don'ts of Vedas are only related to the three gunas of Maya that keeps you in the cycle of birth and death. So you have to go beyond the three gunas. And you have to go beyond that karma and vikarma Vedas. Okay, how? Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. So in this first shlok, he says to Arjun, Arjun, you have to perform your karma, good karma, you have to do your duty without being attached to the outcome. Ma karma phalahetur bhur. Don't just do the karma because I'll get the reward of Swarg or I'll get a good destiny in my next birth here on earth. Don't do that. But also, don't be attached to inaction. Some people will think, okay, so what? I do good karma, I get a material reward. I do bad karma, I get a material punishment. Both are material. There's no perfect happiness anywhere in this world. What does it matter? I'll do nothing. I'll sit on the couch. He says, no, don't be attached to inaction either. Don't get disheartened or feel that there's no point to this. No, do your good karma without attachment to the results, but also don't be attached to inaction. Okay, Arjuna is thinking, this is interesting, but I still don't know practically. What is he getting at? How do I even do that? So Shri Krishna explained further. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. He explained further, he elucidated this idea of karma yoga by saying, okay, Arjun, yogastha. So here in Gita, the word yoga means a couple of different things. Samatvam yoga uchyate. So the basic entry-level yoga is keep the mind balanced. Don't get happy when something good happens. Don't get unhappy when something bad happens. Don't be elated when you succeed. Don't be dejected when you fail. Keep the mind balanced at all times. Samatvam yoga uchyate. So this is yoga, according to this shloka of Gita, keeping the mind in that balanced state. So he says, yogastha. Established in this yoga of a balanced mind, kuru karmani, do your karma. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya, renouncing attachment. Attachment to what? He explained in the previous shlok, right? Renounce the attachment to what am I going to get by doing this karma. So don't be attached to what you're going to get. Don't be attached to the reward of the karma. And siddhya siddhyo. So siddhi and asiddhi mein samo bhutva. Be the same. In success and failure, be the same. And do your karma. Okay. We're getting some more details, but it still seems difficult as far as implementing it practically, because even our shastras say, darshan shastras say, that prayojanam anuddishya mando pina pravartate. A person, even a complete fool, doesn't do any karma without actually thinking of the consequence of that karma. They think of, I want to get this, and that desire motivates the action. So without the desire for the outcome, there can be no action. With no desire for the outcome, we would just, again, be sitting on the couch, doing nothing, lying like a log. So we have to have that desire. Only then karma will happen. But Shri Krishna is saying, Sangam tyaktva. Leave the... And in the next shlok, he says, Buddhi yukto jahatiha phalam tyaktva dhananjaya Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrite. He's getting into more detail now. He's saying that, Arjun, this good karma and this bad karma, this sukrit and dushkrit, you know, both are binding. Both keep you in the cycle of birth and death. So, buddhi yuktaha, the wise person who knows this philosophy and knows the teachings of Gita, jahatiha, he goes beyond, he conquers both. Ubhe means both. Sukrita, dushkrite. He conquers both the good karma and the bad karma. He goes beyond the results of good karma and beyond the results of bad karma. How? Because he did the karma with no attachment. Okay, so we're seeing we can go beyond good karma and bad karma. This is what Arjun wanted. But the sticking point is, why is he saying no attachment? How is that even possible? Saying do the karma, but don't be attached to the outcome. Keep your mind in that equanimous state, poised, balanced. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva. In success and failure, be the same. Okay, that's kind of like saying, well, first he sweetens the pot even more. He says, karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishina janma bandha vinirmukta padam gacchantya. Arjun, if somebody can renounce this karma ka phal, if you can renounce the desire for that reward of your karma, but still do the karma, then what happens? Janma bandhan vinirmukta. You're freed from the bondage of birth and death. You're freed from the bondage of karma, because the karma you're doing is not going to bind you anymore. The binding quality of karma is due to the attachment. Not the physical act of the karma, no. The attachment to the karma, the attachment to the personal reward is what binds you. That's what then causes it to be categorized as a good karma or bad karma, karma or vikarma. So go beyond that. Those who go beyond that, they get freed from the bondage of karma, they get freed from the bondage of birth and death, and padam gacchantya. They attain a supreme blissful state. So Arjun, what you're looking for, I'm telling you how to get it. You weren't satisfied with my argument that do the right thing because you'll be rewarded, or if you don't do the right thing, you'll be punished. You weren't satisfied with that. So okay, do karma yoga. The third type of karma described in the Gita. If you can do this karma yoga, Arjun, then you'll get eternal, supreme, divine bliss, and you'll be free from the bondage of karma, free from bondage of maya, etc. However, if you really think about the practical aspect of it, it's like telling someone that let's say somebody is walking in the desert and they haven't had anything to drink for 2 days. You meet up with that person out in the middle of the desert and you tell them, they ask you for advice. And this is what you tell them. If you can find water, you'll be saved. The person says, yes, that's very sensible. It's logical. I think what you're saying is right, but how do I find the water? That's my problem. So Krishna is saying your attachment is the problem. Your attachment to the action is the problem. If you remove the attachment, no problem. Remove the attachment. That's like I'm wandering in a desert, there's no water in sight, and you're telling me if I get water, then everything will be fine. Oh yeah, it's so easy, just get water. There's no water for hundreds of miles. It's so easy, just remove the attachment, all the problems solved. Okay, is attachment that easy? It's just like something, I just take it, pick it up here and move it there? No, attachment is a subtle thing, a very deep thing. In fact, Shri Krishna explained in the 2nd chapter, at the end, after this, he explained to Arjuna how attachment forms, which is very interesting. Dhyayato vishayan punsa sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho bhijayate. He explains really everything we need to know about human psychology in this one shlok. He says that your mind has a nature. The nature of the mind, now I'm giving a little preface to it. The nature of the mind is to seek happiness. He didn't explain that, but this is the preface to this shlok. The nature of our soul, in fact, is to desire perfect happiness because our soul is a part of God, and God is perfect happiness. Ansho nana vyapadeshat, Brahma Sutra. Even Gita says, Mama Ivansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Shri Krishna is saying that all these souls, they are my ansh, they're a part of me. And because Brahm and Anand are one and the same, Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat Anandadhyeva Khalvimani Bhutani Jayante Anandena Jatani Jivanti Anandam Prayantyabhisam Vishanti. Taittiriya Upanishad says God and Anand are one and the same. God and happiness are one and the same. And since we, the souls, are a part of God, we naturally desire that perfect divine happiness. So our nature is to desire happiness, and wherever we decide this is a potential source of happiness, we will repeatedly think about that person or that thing. So Shri Krishna draws this out for us, explains it by saying, Dhyayato Vishayan Punsa. He says we do dhyan. It's basically a meditation. Whatever we're attached to, or whatever we desire, because we decide that this thing could give me happiness, then we think about that thing over and over and over again. It could be a new car. You haven't bought it yet, but you're thinking about it. Oh, the prices of Tesla has just dropped. If I get a new Tesla, right now I'm driving a 15-year-old Honda Civic. The bumper's falling off and the power windows don't work anymore. But if I get a new Tesla, that could give me happiness. So you keep thinking about that Tesla over and over and over again. What's happening? He says, Dhyayato Vishayan Punsa Sangasteshu Pajayate. Sang means asakti. Attachment, upajayate. You're actually creating an attachment in your mind to the thing that you're thinking about. Then what happens? Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Once the attachment has been formed in the mind, the desire for that thing will repeatedly arise in the mind without your even consciously deciding to think about it. It is going to keep coming in your mind automatically. At first, you are consciously thinking about that thing. But once you created the attachment, now it's like a gravitational pull on that thing has on your mind, so you're going to keep thinking about it. So we created an attachment through repeated thinking. Now the attachment gives rise to repeated desire for that object. Now that we're experiencing the desire in our heart for that thing, that's a type of restlessness that leads to action. Now we're going to act. Now we're going to perform karma. I have to have that thing. And we plan and execute the plan. That is our karma. So you see, the desire came first. Then only we acted. So Shri Krishna is saying, remove the desires, remove the attachments, and still perform the karma. Seems illogical. But it would be beneficial. He's saying if you can do that, you won't be bound by the karma. And there are other things we would get spared from as well. He goes on to say, Sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho bhijayate. See, when the desire comes, we form a plan, we execute the plan, we may fail, right? If we fail to get the thing we want, what happens? Krodh, anger develops. Or if we succeed in getting the thing, tab bhi chutti nahi milti hai. You might think, oh, I got the thing, then I'll be good and happy. No, you'll be pleased. You'll get some intellectual comfort thinking, oh, this Tesla is mine. I got this new Tesla. You'll keep thinking about it for a while after you got it. But then, after even a few days, the newness wears off. And you start feeling like, yeah, I got the cheap model. If I could get a promotion at work, I could get the upgraded one with all the bells and whistles. See, lobh aa gaya. So by fulfilling the desire, we're not actually solving the problem. The restlessness was what drove us to action, right? We don't like that restlessness. So we feel something is missing. Maybe if I get this thing, I'll feel whole and complete. So we strive for it, and even if we get it, the restlessness doesn't go away. It's a temporary reprieve from the restlessness, maybe for a few minutes. Then we feel like we need something more. So that greed is born, the lobh. Or if we fail, we get frustration, anger, krodh. So you see, this desire and attachment, it leads to all kinds of mental suffering. So if we could free ourselves from this attachment, it would solve a lot of problems. We'd get so much peace of mind, but it's not practical. Just to think, okay, let me remove the attachment. Because where did the attachment come from? Repeated chintan. Why did you do repeated chintan about that thing or that person? Because you believed them that maybe I could get happiness from this. Okay, then the original problem is not our thinking about that person. That's going to happen. Or that thing. That's going to happen. What was the original cause? The desire for happiness. Okay, remove the desire for happiness, then you'll never get attached to anything. You'll never have any other desires. But that's impossible because the desire for happiness is the nature of the soul. Because the soul is a part of God and God is happiness. And it's the nature of every ansh to desire their anshi. Therefore, even if we tried to meditate on not desiring happiness for 1,000,000 lifetimes, we could never, even for a moment, cease this desire of our soul, which is transferred to our heart and mind for happiness. So it seems like there's no escape. Krishna is saying, leave the desires and the attachments, and yet it goes against the very psychology of the human mind. It goes against the very nature of our soul. So how is it possible? He gave some hints, but as I told you in the beginning yesterday, these scriptures, we cannot study them on our own and actually figure out the puzzle of how all this fits together in order to be applied correctly in life. So it's only with the guidance of a true Mahapurush, our God-realized Guru, that we can understand these things. So, as I mentioned yesterday, I'm only sharing with you what I learned from Jagadguru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj. So he says, yes, it's explained in Gita, but not necessarily in the order, right? I've been sharing everything from the 2nd chapter so far, where Shri Krishna is introducing the karma, vikarma, and then he talks about karma yoga. But it doesn't seem practical. So how to do it? He's dropped some hints elsewhere in Gita. For instance, he says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmarayudhya cha mayi arpita mano buddhir mame vaishyasya sanshayam. He says, Arjun, remember me at all times. Sarveshu kaleshu, and fight the war. So in our case, that means do our karma while remembering Shri Krishna all the time. He says, surrender your man and buddhi to me. Surrender your man, give your man. Man is the emotional mind. It means love Krishna. And surrender your buddhi means surrender your intellect as well. Surrender the pride of knowledge and submit ourselves to Shri Krishna's teachings. He says, if you give your man and buddhi to me, then there is no doubt you will come to me and stay with me forever. He also says, Swakarmana tamabhyarchya sansiddhim labhate narah. You want to attain perfection? Then swakarmana tamabhyarchya. Do archana of your karma. Archana means like puja. How do you do that? Offer the karma to Krishna. Yat karoshi yadashnashi yad juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Shri Krishna says, whatever you do, all that good karma of Vedas, your family duties, your social duties, the worshipping formalities, whatever you do, offer it all to me. So don't do it. See, now we have an outlet. Now we're starting to understand, okay, it's not about removing my desire and my attachment, although Shri Krishna is not overtly saying it, but he's indicating we can divert that towards him. That is the key. That's the missing key that you wouldn't figure out reading Gita on your own. You can't just eliminate the attachment. No, you develop a divine attachment. You say, okay, Krishna has produced all these rules and regulations in Vedas, so I should follow it in order to please him. In fact, in Bhagavatam, Vedavyasji has said, Tat karma haritosham yat. That alone is good action, which is done to please Shri Krishna. He goes even further, saying, Swanushthitasya dharmasya sansiddhir haritoshanam. That is the true perfection of dharma, which is done to please Shri Krishna. In fact, he goes this far to say, Dharma swanushthitasya. Dharma swanusthita. Karma vishvaksenu notpadayed yadiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. That good karma and that dharma which is done without attachment to the lotus feet of Shri Krishna, notpadayed yadiratim. That good karma which doesn't give rise to love in the heart for the lotus feet of Shri Krishna, shrama eva hi kevalam. It is nothing more than physical effort. It has no value. It's just effort for the sake of effort. So we're starting to see, we're starting to get the idea that this karma yoga that Shri Krishna is talking about, it's not just about, okay, eliminate the desire and the attachment and then perform the karma. No, that's not practical. Your mind is always looking for an outcome. So the outcome is to please Shri Krishna. That is your new desire. You've replaced the selfish desire with a devotional desire. I want to please Krishna, so I'm going to do this good karma. Tulsidas Ji goes to the point of saying, So sab karma dharma jari jau, jahan ram pad pankaj bhau. Let that karma, let that dharma be burnt to ashes, which is bereft of, if it is bereft of love for the lotus feet of Shri Ram. This is why he says, Jap tap niyama yoga nij dharma, Shruti sambhavnana shubha karma, Gyan dayadam tirath majjan, jahan lagi dharma kahe shruti sajjan. आगम निगम पुराण अनेका, पढ़े सुने कर फल प्रभु एका। तव पद पंकज प्रीति निरंतर, सब साधन कर यह फल सुंदर. All the sadhanas described in Vedas, all the different types of good karma, they're all meant to develop love in the heart for God. So if they do not, then so sab karma dharma jari jau, Tulsidas Ji says they are useless. They are nothing more than physical effort. They have no devotional value, no spiritual value. Although doing a good karma is better than doing a bad karma, but because it also binds one in Maya, we need to graduate to the next level, which is doing karma yoga. And true karma yoga is not possible just to remove the worldly desires from the mind and then perform the karma. No, you replace the worldly desire with the desire to please Shri Krishna. Thus you are offering your actions to Shri Krishna. That frees you from the bondage of those actions. And as Shri Krishna said, Padam Gacchantya-namayam, you attain the eternal divine blissful state through that. So now Shri Krishna has begun to explain Karma Yoga to Arjun, but Arjun still has a question that this Karma Sannyas sounds better to me. Why don't I just go? He literally said, let me go and become a beggar. I'll keep thinking of you. I won't have to fight this war. I won't have to be involved in this horrible conflict that's going to happen. Let me go and be a poor beggar and I'll just keep remembering you all the time. Same thing. My mind is in you, just like the Karma Yogi's mind is in Shri Krishna. The Karma Sannyasi's mind is also in Shri Krishna. So the outcome should be the same. Yes, the outcome is the same. But nonetheless, Shri Krishna still recommended to Arjun to be a karma yogi, not a karma sannyasi. So these two topics will be discussed tomorrow. When the karma yogi is performing all the good karma and remembering Krishna, and the karma sannyasi has abandoned all those karma and is remembering Shri Krishna, how is it they both get the same result? And secondly, if they do get the same result, why is Shri Krishna making Arjun do karma yoga instead of karma sannyas? We'll delve into these topics tomorrow. Bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki, Shrimat Sadguru Sarkar Ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.